Hey guys, how you doing? This is Franklin Cruz. I want to tell you guys a very interesting story. So this property right next to me was my first condo project I ever did. We are going to share the story of the history of 1902 Lamar Avenue. Was that good or no? Do it again? Let's go over the story. So I am still in the military at that time. I am 24 years old and I have a dream of doing condo projects, right? Because that's what when I was reading Donald Trump, that's what his dad was doing, I guess. So, and when I had this dream, I was like, man, I think I could convert an apartment building that used to be an apartment building to a condo project, like basically convert them over to 4 condos. And I didn't know how to do it. I kind of wanted the challenge. And I remember getting this deal from the newspaper. This is back in the day. You'll probably see some newspapers right now. We'll walk a little bit too. Is I saw diamond in the rough. I remember that was the ad. And I went over here, I met the guy, he sold it to me for $200,000. And I'll never forget, I should have waited. See, I was so impatient that if I would have just waited one more year, I could have sold it as an apartment building as is for $900,000. I had an offer for $900,000. And then what happened is, because I was so arrogant and egotistic, that I didn't do my own research on figuring out how can you convert the condo project back to an apartment building so I could sell it. So that is how I lost that money. I didn't gain it. So I'm going to show you around the property. Keep on going down the story. So the other thing was, I still committed. I had to get the money. I didn't know how to get the money, so I had a couple friends. I remember a good friend of mine, Robert Cicitado, and his partner. We had a vision of putting $100,000 in the property, and I was like, I know how to do this. And I was going to do it part-time while I was still in the military with no business experience, and now automatically handle $100,000. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I winged it. And I remember I got these wood windows, and again, I was lazy, so all these wood windows that the city bought this and condemned it, which is weird. Because everything in the house was brand new. They could have actually still been making money on this. Nobody even inspected it or say, hey, do an inspection on all the properties that we're thinking about demoing. Is it any good? Well, they didn't. So they condemned this, but all this stuff is new. Everything in this house is new. So those columns, those line heads, I actually put those on. Bridget picked out the smaller ones. I remember this is when I was dating her, and I bought this. All the electric, look at this. All the electric, when we had it, they look brand new. Look, because they can't really steal these, it's not worth it. So look, brand new, brand new, brand new, brand new. All the windows, we converted into 4 condos, and we did sell like 3 for $225, but we're in so much debt because of the way the bank financing went. Everything was private. Just a lot of mess that I personally created more than anything. It was my mess up. I was just very blessed that not everybody got hurt. My partner lost $100,000 because everybody was losing money on it, and I didn't even know what to do. I was like, oh my God, it was my fault. But this is what happens in entrepreneurship. Sometimes you
sacrifice.
Yeah, you sacrifice. Good word. You sacrifice, and hopefully you don't screw up that bad, because you are going to screw up. I mean, that's the name of the game. So anyway, so all the windows were brand new. Everything was brand new. Century C was brand new. Century C went back here. We had homeless issues for a long time. It was really bad. But I bought the house next door as well, 1902 and 1904. So there used to be a house over here, and the city condemned that too. So a lot of times it doesn't make any sense. So when the city takes something over, they don't even go into what is the rehab cost of something. They just demo it, which it didn't make any sense, because that house actually was brand new. This house, brand new. Somebody's probably living in there now. Well, there's definitely some place. This is probably like 8 homeless people that live in here. How much you'll bet? Let's check it out.
They're totally inside.
Hello? Hello? Hey, hey.
Anybody in there?
Don't get in there.
Hi.
Why? There's no point.
Guys, he's going in. Oh, crap.
Oh my goodness.
Here, I'm getting it in. Hold this.
Let's go.
Move.
Don't get in there.
Dad. Here.
Don't leave me out here.
Here, Dad. Hold
You're
this.
getting in here too. Give me the camera.
I'm not getting in there.
Come on. Hello? Alright, yeah, I did the granite here.
Yo.
If anybody's in here, I'm gonna kill you.
I would buy this.
Wait, that's a great. I think
I would buy this.
Jimmy, are you in here? Pennywise, you in here? Look, take it. Get that. Look.
It's haunted.
Hello?
This is gonna be a found footage horror movie.
Oh, the fake TV. Oh my god. I remember this. Just imagine, man, everything was new.
Did it look like this when you lived here?
Yeah, does it look like this?
Just imagine, everything in here was new.
Did it look?
It's sad because the city, if they would have just did a $200 inspection, they could have had this as an asset. And they don't. It doesn't make any sense. Then they bought this property. This was a house that I did with my cousin Junie. And that was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, needed no work at all. It's a bungalow. And everything was new in the house. We were renting it for $1,700 a month. And look, it's not here because that's what they do. Their protocol is boom, right when we get it, done. And then it's weird. It just doesn't make any sense. But the history of it is, look at it from the side. It's beautiful. Spanish Mediterranean, 1925. I actually have the original documents of what it looked like in 1925. And good Lord, boy. So the one thing I learned was, one, I should have never put wood windows. It was horrible and single pane. Should have learned. I didn't know that. Should have did more research. All the city wanted, I could have saved $30,000 and put aluminum and then just put wood screens on it. I didn't do that. So a lot of homeless issues were here. People were always walking through. But 20 years ago, when I first started, or 15 years ago, I was like, man, I think this area is going to change because it's so close to downtown. It would be the closest to expand. And what I found was it did, and we were right. If I would have kept all, I had 43 properties in this area at one time. If I would have kept all of them, they would probably be worth 15 million, if not more, probably 25 million, 30 million, and I only bought them for like 70 grand. Do the math. So that is the story of 1902 Lamar. A very interesting, mysterious home. That the city, I don't know what, doesn't make any business sense. They're just sitting here for no reason. To make cash flow for what? So, all right, talk to you guys. Oh yeah, they gotta like, subscribe, and all this other stuff, right? Is that important? Yeah, do that.